Welcome to No Mercy 16. It's Thursday night, and we have officially qualified for Gangster X 530. And by officially qualified, I mean we made one pass. And in one pass, we managed to completely catastrophically destroy the Powerglide transmission that we just put in this thing. Literally a couple days ago, put a Powerglide in it. So this way, it would change the gear ratio, react better, it would stop climbing the ring gear. We put a stiffer spring up front, did all these things in preparation to go faster, because at this point on this setup, it's been 6.0 with like leaving on 5 pounds of boost. Like it's not even, we're not even doing anything yet. So today we came out here and took a stab at qualifying one, and things were going good. Still need to do a little bit of work in the burnout, but first time with this trans, I wasn't really sure what to expect with this setup and the whole thing. Get up to the line, spool it up, start bumping. We've gotten the bump under control quite a bit more. It still could use some work, but it's way better. And then I let go of the button, take off, and at some point I looked down and was like, I need to shift this thing. So then I shift it and kablooey. And what I believe happened is the drive shaft, actually we can show people. So I don't know if like the U-joint broke or what all ended up happening here, but as you can see, this is like bowed out, and it's not supposed to be like bowed out, it's supposed to be parallel. The U-joint let go in some capacity, which then led to this was the transmission side, this thing bouncing around and banging around, which destroyed the transmission. And luckily, fortunately, thankfully, none of those pieces came inside the car, so I still have all my fingers and toes. Then, because it hit the drive shaft loop, the shifter's mounted to the drive shaft loop, so it broke the shifter. And today's Thursday, qualifying one. So I was like, well, this could get really expensive really fast. I just don't know that I'm having that good of a time, so maybe we won't. We'll just put it in the trailer and we'll call it a day. Then I thought about it and I realized this is probably going to be the last race of the year, or at least the last big one. You know, we might get some other stuff in there where we can, but our schedule is still full. We got to do PRI, SEMA, like all this other crap. And this is my last chance to race and enjoy my car. So, input, PTC, who has a booth here, who also happened to have a freshly built Powerglide. Some of the features of this are the same as this one. This one had a 180 straight cut gear set. I'm pretty sure it had either a 7 or a 10 clutch, deep drum, brake, everything. It had a bunch of parts in it, but it was still a stock case deal. And after seeing this, I was like, you know, buy the aftermarket case because I got lucky. Maybe next time I won't get so lucky. So I spent a metric shit ton of money on purchasing a brand new front to back PTC Powerglide. Went and grabbed that, so we're good there. I just finished getting the trans out, and then lo and behold, the guy who pitted like across from us saw my Facebook post and was like, dude, I have a drive shaft. I asked for a 48-inch drive shaft because this one's 48.5. Honestly, I did want to pull it out of the trans a little further. I felt like it was a little too deep into the trans. I wasn't super happy with that. He's like, dude, I got one, but it's 48.25. It's longer than what you need. Actually, it's a 1/4 inch shorter than what was currently in it, and I wanted to shorten it up anyway. So brand new 1350 U-joints, brand new drive shaft, never been used, balanced, good to go. He said this is his spare, because the same one that he has in the car, but he's been really fucking fast and makes more power than we do to be able to go that fast. So I was like, cool, it'll be fine. So we've got that. Now, as far as the shifter's concerned, PTC has a Powerglide shifter, but theirs is air shifted, and I do have onboard air. I could set that up and do all that, but it's a really expensive shifter. It would just be one less thing if I just went to another electric shifter, which we have not found yet. So worst case scenario, I will jam all of this in the car and I'll go over to PTC, buy the air shifter. I have spare Mac valves, so we can add a Mac valve. I just don't know some of the logistics of what the PID loop needs to look like and all that, but I can play with the computer and we can figure that out. Day one, of no mercy. We don't get time slips. You know, everybody's got a draggy, so it is what it is. There was nothing really impressive. I knew that going from the 400 to the Power Glide, just like the Gold car, I was gonna have to really hit it over the head off the starting line and, you know, just give it a bunch of power super early on to try to make it do something. I was still relatively reserved in that because I left with like 9 pounds of boost and eventually ramped it to 24, probably under 2 seconds. It really needs to leave on like 14 pounds of boost, probably even on this sticky track radial stuff, probably even 16, 17, 18 pounds of boost. I'm gonna get back to work on this. Huge shout out to Hot Shots. They got the whole hospitality tent going this weekend. So they got the TV, food, drinks. They just catered some dinner for us. We got the diesel guys over here. They're all throughout. Fire Punk's here. Rod's back in his Corvette. That's back making passes. I mean, it's gonna be a super fun weekend. It's just, I'm exhausted. We drove 16 hours to be here. Like, it's just been a long week. So. Back at the racetrack again. So let me brief you on what has happened, right? No Mercy was crazy. It was nonstop thrashing while we were also working, so there was just a lot going on. So I didn't get a chance to really finish up or wrap up that video, but I was like, let's just combine it into what this trip is today. To recap, No Mercy, we swapped the trans, we get that done, we get it all working. We have one more qualifying pass to try to make something happen. Believe it or not, in our mad thrash to make that qualifying pass happen with the trans and everything else, there's a pedal stop behind the pedal and it got turned. Well, it's shaped like a C, right? So the pedal goes right in. Well, when it got turned, when we were swapping the trans, it went like this. So I was flooring it, but I was getting stopped. So I made that entire pass on only 73% throttle. Thought I was floored, didn't make a bunch of boost. We figured out why, which put us right into round one. And who do we draw? None other than Jimmy Dale. That guy, 530 is his class. There's no better way to describe that. So I'm like, you know, at this point, I'm hoping that a bunch of the stuff will work right. I'll show you guys the new shifter and some other new stuff we got going on in there. It was like, I threw a tune-up in it that could maybe go 530s. Made it happen. Line up next to Jimmy Dale. He cuts a light. It's not very often somebody leaves before me, so kudos to him. He left before me. We had a drag race. He ended up taking the W. Hit me with a little womp womp action. The funny part about that is that then him and I sat down and compared draggies side by side. And I want to say 60 foot was within 0.02. 330 was like within 0.04 or 3. Like, we were pretty close. It was really one on reaction time. So overall, I couldn't have been happier with the car. It worked, it shifted, it did what it was supposed to do. That's a lot when you don't really know shooting for the stars and going for it. So today we came out to Cecil County Raceway out here in Maryland, which is close to home. They're having some kind of nostalgia event, a fundraiser thing. but also having test and tune. There are some other fast guys here, so I feel pretty confident that the track will be on par to try to do something. We've been battling an issue with boost control on this thing, and part of the issue is the MAC valve calculation and all this kind of stuff. We're fighting some kind of a little gremlin right now. In that pass against Jimmy Dale, we made 30 pounds of boost on the scramble, but it didn't maintain. Right now, what we're trying to figure out is I changed a bunch of the settings. I was trying a new thing with the compressor sensor and all this stuff, throwing that all in the trash, going back to the stuff that has worked in the gold car, and we're gonna start from that baseline today. Also, the baseline of, we now have, what, 3 passes on a power glide in this car, and like 12 total passes overall on the car altogether.
Did one of those explode?
And one of them was an explosion of the drive shaft and all of that, yep. And really, the car has been pretty deep into the 5s already, and we're not even crazily leaning on it yet. So today, we're gonna focus in on, you know, I just put that same tune-up that I had against Jimmy Dale with a couple little changes, a couple more pounds on the leave, because it can take it really with that converter and the power glide. It's back to gold car things. Prep track, right now we got 14 pounds of boost in it on the line. And honestly, it should be like 16 or 18. It's just a chill day. We got the family out. You know, we're not rushing around. We're not going crazy. We're not doing anything wild. We're just trying to make more passes on the car and get it dialed. You guys have to see this because I'm super proud of it. Well, I'm super proud of it, and it's also really stupidly expensive. The most expensive shifter you can get, and I'm not sure that there is a better shifter on the market. I'm not sure that one exists. And I understand why now, because this thing is like, I mean, whoo! This thing is baby smooth, and it is just wild. So now the only thing we got left to do is wait to go up there for test and tune. We'll get checked in. I gotta grab some ice for the air to water, and we'll make our first rip of the day, see what it is as far as a baseline, and go from there. I'm excited, man. Now, have I ever told anybody about the hair thing? So the deal is, I'm not gonna cut my hair until this car runs a 4-second pass. So, I'm not saying that that day is gonna be today. Actually, I don't mind it. Doing this has been fun. We've got 2 goals for today. We need that 20 on the 60 foot, and actually we need 2 20s. 20 on the 60 foot, 520 or better. I'm excited about it. Let's go racing. Brother, I was like, man, that is an unusual pass, and I'm not quite sure what happened there. So we start looking around. I start pulling plugs, and I'm like, all right, all the plugs look okay, except for one that's a little wet, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So it's like, okay, are we hanging an injector, or what's going on? Well, as it turns out, pull the valve cover off, and we've got a rocker loose. I don't know. I don't know why one out of all 16, 15 are fine, but 16 was loose. So what I'm gonna do is We're gonna reassemble this, put some fresh plugs in it, fire it back up, see if it holds. It beat the top of the valve up a little bit, but not too much that I'm too terribly worried about it. Push rod is still straight, thankfully, unless the lifter failed. But those are really, 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 really good lifters. We're gonna throw this back together, and hopefully with the quickness, because we're kind of running out of time I think today on how many passes we can make, and I'd really like to get after it. So let's go ahead and do that and check back in with you guys. We never like retorque these after multiple heat cycles. These are also different bolts that came with the trunnion kit and all that kind of stuff, so maybe it just needs to be on our maintenance list that we gotta, every, I don't know, 10 passes, check it, go from there. So we'll do that, put some fresh plugs back in, clean all this up, fire it up, see what happens. Brandon, you look really sexy doing that. Why can't I find this damn... I was getting ready to throw something. Like, where the hell did I put this spark plug socket? Oh, it's still on the spark plug. So, we're going back in with some fresh plugs. We've got everything torqued down. These here are the E3. E3, this is their race line of plugs. So, a lot of folks know about E3 spark plugs because they've got that special design, that like tri-tip, that non-gap thing, and they come pre-gap. The problem with that is that when it comes to racing applications, we have to gap them differently. For ease of use, it's better to just have a J-wire plug like this on the ground strap so that you can continue to gap it if you need to. Now, the thing that I like about this, out of the box, these things are at like 18 thou. And I'm like, man, that's about right where I wanted them to be. I was gonna go 16 to 18 anyway, so 18 works. He told me that the reason that they do that is because for a racing plug where you know you're gonna close the gap, if you start out with a larger gap to begin with, when you go to close it, it's not even, right? And it's just this weird wonky thing. So they specifically put a shorter ground strap on here and start the gap tighter. So this way, when we go from the 18 to the 16, you know, we're not going from 28 to 16. Gonna put a set of these in, double check everything else, and I think, you know, I'm pretty confident that that rocker was exactly 100% our issue. We'll put these plugs in, fire back up. If it sounds good and healthy, we will go ahead and put it on a trans brake. If it does that, we'll then just let it cool down a little bit and then take it up there for another pass. You know, it sucks when sometimes things go wrong, but it's also racing, it's race cars. One other thing is that if you're gonna use this plug, which is the E3, on the plug itself it says E3.99R8. This one here is a little colder than the last plug we had in, but that's fine because we're running a little more boost than we wanted to. The difference is the BR7EF has a non-projected porcelain, where this porcelain projects past the threads. So when I asked Chris about it, he said how that is going to affect you is that it's going to be like adding a little timing. So if you are already really leaning on it and you go from the non-projected to the projected, you know, go ahead and pull some timing out. I said, Chris, we're still really, really safe on timing here because we only got a dozen passes on this thing. So shouldn't be an issue. I always like to start my plugs by hand, and usually I will put the socket on there and get them as tight as I can, just like that, before I put the wrench on them, because, you know, you don't need to Hercules your damn spark plugs in the head. Trust me, it'll be okay. Where's that socket wrench?
right, that sounds way better than it did. So, life lesson, if it sounds wrong coming out of the burnout, even though that you just waited an hour and a half or whatever in the staging lanes, and it's still making boosts and it's still doing stuff, man, just pull off. That's me being impatient. Not a big deal. Shout out to E3. I really appreciate all the help that, you know, it's Saturday, in the middle of the day, on the weekend, and I'm calling Chris at E3. He's answering the phone and answering my questions about spark plugs so I can go make the next pass. That's some cool shit. I also got their lithium battery in here. That's how we've been running it with no alternator and everything else. So super pumped about that. Let's go ahead and cool this thing down a little bit. Not too worried about it because I'm sure the line up there is probably pretty long. So let's make sure the battery is charged enough. We'll get some ice in. We'll do all the things we got to do to get ready to go make the next pass and cross our fingers. One more thing I want to do, you said it went right off the brake. So I did find some steering stuff and whatnot that we fixed up, but I definitely want to take a look at the rear real quick while we're here. And if that looks good, we'll go make another one. It didn't feel bad. It didn't feel like it was out of control, but I also haven't looked at the video either, so let me go take a look and maybe that'll help me identify any potential issues going on or what's going on. Rock and roll time. Let's go make a pass, dude. Damn. There goes Brandon to get the tools to tighten the thing. Man, that suspension needs help. Talk about perfect timing. We made it up here as the second to last car, there's one behind us, before they close the staging lanes, which means we get one more shot of this. But good to know that if I let go of the button, if it takes it and goes, I need to get on the scramble immediately-ish to try to put up a number, I guess. I don't know, I think now it will make the boost that it was supposed to make in the beginning and would probably go faster naturally anyway. But yeah, here we are, and one last chance to try to put a number on the board. Do you want to say hi, Meatball?
Hi.
Is that why you came over here?
No.
Say hi to the people?
No.
Off in the distance. Where is he? Where is he? It really struggles up that hill. Oh, there it is. I spotted him. Wait, wait, wait. There he comes. I don't know what's going on with the golf cart. It was like, when I first got it, really, really great. And not that it's not been great, and not that I've had it that long. How's that golf cart working for you?
Great. Well,
Better than walking for sure.
oh, for sure.
We're gonna go fast?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hi. I'm goated. I'm king. I'm literally the best.
You look kind of like lame right now, though. POV in the race car. There's a steering wheel. There's a tack that does work. There's my little my little Holly joint. There's my really fancy shifter. Look at the way. Look at that shifter. Yeah, buddy. Bow bow.
Ready?
No, it's still in park. All right, now push.
Hold on, what? Because everybody needs something or someone.
Woo!
When it's cold outside
On the back tires, like.
On the back tires. Yeah, something's broke back there. I don't know.
Oh yeah, we gotta figure that.
Yeah,
out.
we gotta figure that out because I tightened everything. I was like, oh, maybe it's a little this. Yeah, no clue. But 125 to the 60 foot, that's a bad bitch.
Yeah.
And it'll take more. Other than the fact that it wanted to go directly at Brandon.
Oh
so
yeah, dude.
I can't wait to see that video.
Dude, I was just like, no fucking way this thing's doing a wheelie directly at
Directly
me.
at me. Yeah. Yeah, so it did that. I mean, I wanted like a 128, like 129.
It's pretty good.
25 is. Go figure out what's wrong with the back.
Yeah, we gotta. That was really weird, dude.
Yeah,
it was like it just hard drove
instantly
right.
Hard drove right. Yeah, and I don't like. I checked the 4-link bars and everything, and nothing seemed out of place, or so I don't know.
Something has definitely moved or done.
Yeah,
something.
something has done something. So yeah, I don't know what has happened, but the good news is I do have measurements of everything back there from when I replotted the 4-link, which apparently we got to do again because it's still gonna wheelie when it does that. But I'll say I'll consider it a success. I'm gonna text Chris and be like, brother, them spark plugs. Brother, them spark plugs, dog. So that's it, right? Unfortunately, we only got 2 passes today. You know, we hit some snags. Honestly, I did not think that today was going to be as packed as it was. There was hundreds of cars here. So that was kind of my own fault. So between that and then running into a little snag ourselves, obviously made for, you know, not being able to make as many passes as we would like. But that 125 shows promised. Like, that's something to be proud of for sure.
All right, now did you hit the wall?
No. Do you think I did? Oh, okay.
It was really fucking close.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I let out and then tried to correct it, and then as soon as I got back in, it wanted to go right again, and I was like,
Yeah.
nope, we're done. Like, it's just...
I saw it kind of like pull you back a little bit.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh! Hold on.
It was really close.
And Brandon's face when he turns it.
Like, from the back, though, skirt! 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 It wants to be a shitbox. So I wonder... That may have been a back tire 60 foot. It's a 4-link. There's only so many things that could be broken back there. I haven't talked about probably this publicly either yet, but I thought that this thing could potentially one day have a teen 60 foot in it.
No, I think it does.
No, I think it does. It's amazing what happens when you leave on the correct amount of boost.
Yeah.
Until next time, guys, we're gonna load this up. Mallory said she's taking me on a date tonight.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So we gotta load this all up, and then I'll get home. I'll go put it in the garage, put it up on jack stands, start measuring, start figuring out, you know, what the issue is. But I'm not saying it was a back tire 60 foot. I'm just saying
man.
the potential, it had potential to be a back tire 125. Hold on. All right, so maybe, I don't know, I still think that maybe this happened in the trailer, but it's possible that I could have just slightly, potentially, maybe, possibly, just barely nicked the wall there. Worth it.
Just barely.
A little bit. Still worth it.